Okay, let's continue this journey as an arcane mage. Alright, let's get going. Let's get started. Let's see here. Where are we going to start? We are going to start in Leyndell. I am dreading this one. I am dreading Night 2. Because in Night 2... In Night 2, we gotta deal with a lot of melee-centric bosses, and I am not looking forward to this. But anyway, so let's just do the quick rundown, get back to it. So, if you haven't watched the previous stream, first of all, why does it end up being 2 weeks late? I actually had health issues on Labor Day weekend, which really sucked, because that would have been the best time to do this. And then the second week, when they had Silksong released, and it was like the first day you're all watching everyone play, or you're playing it yourself, so I decided there was no point doing this, since this is one of my better streaming ideas, so I wanted it to have a good weekend all to itself, and it did. It actually got quite a few people. So, first of all, I'd like to say thanks all to everyone who viewed in last night. First time I ever had 30 concurrent viewers. I know 30 is not a big number at all, but that is like 200% more than I had of my highest total. So thanks for that. It's still quite a good start. You know, I've only been doing this for a couple months to go to that much. Okay, well maybe it could be a lot better, but anyway, it was nice seeing a lot of people. Although I do think it was odd that I wasn't seeing comments, because I usually get more comments than that, even with fewer viewers. So I'm wondering if it's an issue with YouTube. I don't know, because there was someone who commented and it didn't show up in my viewer on YouTube. It did show up here on my screen, just not on YouTube. I don't know what's going on there. So if anyone is having an issue, let me know, because I don't know why I would have comments appear on my screen but not on YouTube, which makes me wonder if there were no comments being posted at all. Anyway, so quick rundown of the build in case. Let's see. So once again, our World of Warcraft Arcane Mage. Here is Arcane Blast. We have Arcane Missiles, and no, that's Arcane Missiles again. And we have Arcane Barrage, which is, yes, I know it moves a lot more slowly, and Shard Spiral is very different from how Arcane Barrage works. But as far as the spells go, where there are two spinning magical projectiles, that's it. That's what I got. There's no Arcane Explosion. There's no spell in Elden Ring that's like a personal AoE spell that you can spam rapidly like that. There is a force spell that's kind of like that, but it's not quite the same. I don't have invisibility because invisibility is useless in PvE. I do have Blink. Yes, this is Blink-like, but unfortunately after actual usage I have discovered that Bloodhound Step is more in line with how Blink actually was, as in to say, immediate invincibility and movement. Not as far as Blink goes, but I found when using this spell, this entire duration while I'm still here, like before I move, I am hittable. So that value of Blink, or just gone and then reappear further away as like a dodge move, is... The spell doesn't capture that functionality, and part of the functionality is, so I gotta use what actually works like Blink, and unfortunately Bloodhound Step is more like how Blink actually works, and more importantly, I can bind it to a single button. I can use this as the L1. Now, I'm just saying, though, for anyone else who wants to try this build, and you want to have it, be more faithful to the actual Blink spell, this is what this is, Miriam's Vanishing. If for some reason you're playing on PC and you have a way to bind all your spells to different buttons or something, I don't know what the PC setup is, but so there you go. If you ever want to do this, that's what you can do. I also have this. I forget what it's called in World of Warcraft, but Arcane Mages did have some ability like this where they can enchant the ground, and ooh, I'm sort of standing above it. Improves magic power, just like in World of Warcraft. And as far as all those other little spells go, I'm not going to try and cover all of them. There's too many. For the most part, things like magic armor, arcane armor, like frost armor, and all that is being covered by... Why are you waving? Is being handled by mixed physics, And oop, I don't need that. Mixed physics, the boiled crab, the buffs, the various livers. Those are going to take care of all the armor abilities. And if there's any other ability or spell that I haven't managed to quite capture, it's either because it's not Elden Ring, or it's just not feasible or possible, or just made this whole thing even less fun than it should be. I mean, I'm already having a hard time just trying to cast these 3 spells consistently. So, anyway, that's the rundown of the build. Oh, new thing. I did my little, review of this build, as I usually do on day 2, to see if there's anything I'm sort of missing. And I did miss something. So I've been stacking, like, intellect, intelligence, the mind, and all that, because, what can I say, Arcane Mages, that's what we did in World of Warcraft. We stacked int, which, jacked up our mana totals. That's it. That's the only stat we cared about in World of Warcraft, right? And my vigor is only 40. It should be higher, but the fact is, mages had lower HP. That's the way it goes. That's the way it went. But something did change by the time I think it was by the time Wrath of the Lich King came around. We also had, well, there was also crit and thing. Yes, we had precision, but there was no such thing as precision in, Elden Ring. No, but what we did have was casting speed. Okay, that was a thing. Spell haste was a thing. I personally didn't favor it so much. I preferred it more for healing than anything. That was more important to get your healing spells off faster. But whatever. It was definitely important for, damage dealing spells too. And spellcasting speed is a thing in Elden Ring. Dexterity increases spellcast speed. Now, unfortunately, I got to get it pretty high before it's actually noticeable. So I am going to try and capture it with Radagon Icon. Maybe I'll give the Stardust a shot. But honestly, I am not looking forward to using the Stardust, really. Let's just get going here while I'm talking. But yeah, we're going to give spellcasting speed a bit more of a chance this time. Yes, I know Divine Vow is a faith ability. I have it on the dagger here. Right? I know it is a faith ability, but here's the thing. There are 2 things that mages had. Like, they had a bunch of abilities that increased their damage. They had a spell ability that could give them, like, an instant cast. They had all sorts of different buffs and little things, right? So it's perfectly fair and reasonable. Where the hell am I going? It's perfectly fair and reasonable for a mage to have a buff spell that increases the damage, right? Thus, but the only thing I really have is Divine Vow. I have to... Where the heck? Okay. Oh, no, I'm going the right way. Okay. So I got a little... Let's get the mouse going. So I got a little... Well, just because of the way buffs work in Elden Ring, I can't just stack the same buffs over and over again. I gotta use different types, and Golden Vow just stacks very easily with everything. I'm not gonna run around with the halberd, right, or the standard, because it's a halberd, it's heavy, right? So I gotta find my damage buffs where I can get them. So yes, Divine Vow is more of a faith ability, but I don't know what to tell you. It's a buff, damage-based buff. There aren't that many spell buffs really, and that is what I went for. That's what I got. So it is an option. It is a fair option. I'm going to use it. And now let's get started. Let's get started recording. I was already talking. Anyway, so that's the build. That's how it's going. So here's the thing here. Now, this is a bad idea. I don't want to do this. I hate doing this. Believe it or not, people always think, oh, Odion is an easy boss. Well, he's easy because you can get behind him and attack him and knock him down and then, spam him, right? But if you actually fight him straight up, he can be annoying. And I know everyone loves a good mage-on-mage fight. So I have decided I'm going to fight him straight up. No tricks, no nothing, no sneaking around behind him. I don't like this. This is not a smart move at all. But I know people want a good mage fight, so here goes. We are just gonna fight him. I'm just gonna fight him straight up. Let him finish talking. Spell for spell, blow for blow. So here we go, mage fight. That said, I knew the spell would interrupt him over and over again. So it's not really a fair fight. Because I knew that would happen. I knew that would happen. So it wasn't exactly a fair fight. So, well, I had my mage fight. And with a mage who was not resistant to all my bloody spells, Renala. Well, good. It's a good thing that finished quickly. Hey, I give him a chance. I straight fight, no sneaking up behind him, no nothing like what everyone always does. No, I just fought him perfectly fair and honestly, and it's not my fault that he can be knocked around by that spell. I am really not looking forward to tonight. So, yes, he was nothing special, but there's a lot of bosses tonight, including Millennia, that are very quick. They're very aggressive. They get right in your face and they attack. I have no idea how this is going to go. I am a little afraid. I don't think this is probably not going to be a good night. And I have no idea if I'll have enough mana left to finish off Elden Beast. I'm like, well, I don't care about Elden Beast. I don't like fighting Elden Beast. So if I get to him and then I die, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's it. So. But all these, what am I going to increase? Well, I've been putting everything in intelligence, but now that cast speed is a real thing, I'm going to start. Okay, well, I don't want to start putting points into secondary stats until I've maxed out all the other ones I need, but I do want a little endurance so I can have more of a light build, but that's not... You know what? I said I'd spam or stack intelligence, so that's what I'm going to do. But, okay, yeah, this guy, Godfrey. I think that's the name. Doing this with a mage build, oh god, this is gonna be awful. And I can't cast Terra Firma. What's it called? Terra Magica. I can't stay in one spot. What am I gonna do here? On the bright side, Shard Spiral's kind of useless. Alright, well, let's see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes. What hit me? Well, that was fast. Okay. Well, it looks like the bonus damage I'm taking from this is murdering me too much, so I'm gonna have to knock this down and hope this is enough. Go with the Radagon icon. Alright. I know there's the Godfrey icon for charging spells, and it's certainly useful, but the rule I'm going here as is, well, you can't charge spells in World of Warcraft, or at least I don't know if that's changed recently. It didn't change as far as Shadowlands is concerned, but you can't charge spells, so I'm not going to use anything like that. Let's get this going. And since early on, I am probably going to need to just get all the spells off I can. And they're not even hitting. Oh, I had Golden Bell still equipped. Okay. Oh god, this sucks. I was saying before, this is going to end up being like a challenge build. More than anything than just a regular build, but okay. No, I said go through. Looks like I'm gonna be spamming Stars of Ruin again. And he's not even near me yet. Stop spamming those attacks. Actually, that's not spam. Well, that was a good start. And I'm spamming Blink. I mean, it's really more like a dodge at this point, but... Okay, casting speed, definitely important on this one. I should see if Spiral works. So let's go from power to speed, because that is what's getting me here. More than anything. And the fact that I'm a glass cannon against an absolute brute of a fighter. Yes, mages in World of Warcraft can totally own warriors, but then again, mages in World of Warcraft they have all sorts of freezing abilities and all sorts of other stuff that actually works. I do not. And I had the wrong dagger equipped again. God damn it. Okay, let's try this again. Come on, big and ugly. Got stupid dagger again. like to cast another spell, but he's not giving it a chance. Okay, finally phase 2, but this is gonna be something. I don't think I can afford to use... I gotta dodge normally, because my timings on him just are barely good enough as is. Fuck, muggers. Press the button. My finger slipped off the damn button. God damn it. Well, I said I was gonna hate doing tonight. These bosses are gonna suck. On the bright side, Moog should be really easy. I mean, I know I'm not gonna be using the certain spells that make him look funny, but I still have I would still be able to benefit from him just walking slowly towards me. Okay. I didn't want to do that. I wish I could use other spells, but I don't know what to tell you. The only one I can get off fairly quickly and easily and still... This should do it. Oh crap, I have no mana. Whatever, buttons, you know. I know you're supposed to press buttons to do this or that, but, you know, when they don't function, what can I tell you? I pressed the button to get back on my feet, and it just didn't go off. Well, I knew this would be a pain. I knew all these guys would be a pain tonight. That one was really lucky attempt, too. I'm pressing the button! Come on, man! This is going to be a problem. I am so much more used to pressing the circle button for dodging, but now I'm depending on the bumper button for dodging, the L1. And my finger tends to slip off the bumper button, so this can be a bit of a pain. That should do it for phase 1. Oh, this is so... Ooh, this is stressful. I pressed the button, come on! Oh, I'm not dead. Alright, well that was pretty close, and I do not want to... I'm really not enjoying this. So I'm going to call some help in because that's, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it tonight. I just really, and no one's watching, so I'm not feeling it tonight. I don't want to fight him. This is no fun doing this. I'm not feeling like a mage. I'm just feeling like any other build I would normally do, except now I have... This doesn't feel like a mage run anymore. Now it just feels like I'm just doing what I normally do, but now I have to stop to cast a spell. So this is not meant to be challenge runs. These are meant to be fun. So, and you know, it was really close to the end there, so that's good enough. So I am gonna call in. I don't know. We'll just do Latenna. And I had the wrong dagger on again. God damn it. Okay, all set up again. And yet, somehow he still is more interested in attacking me, and I haven't even... Oh, all these spells aren't even hitting him? Come on. Oh, so much for having help. So it didn't really make any difference calling her in. No, I got greedy. I'll sue it to that one. I was hoping I could finish him off quickly just then. But, this sucks. I've yet to play a mage build on Elden Ring. And I'm not even playing, like, this is not even like an optimized mage build. Do you just spam stomp over and over again? I mean, okay, it's fair. I'm spamming one spell and over again too, but still. Hey, if he's gonna ignore Lieutenant, you go right ahead. Oh, come on. God damn it. I'm better off dodging normally. Okay, more fun. Actually better if he ignores me. Or ignores Lieutenant. Damn it. Again. Just spamming that ability again, over and over. What? Why is this cutscene playing? Yeah. Honestly, you know what? I have more luck just using the stupid dodge button. Frankly, than using Bloodhound's. Actually, you know what? It is more useful. Bloodhound is more useful in Bloodhound Step is more useful in the second phase, but on that first phase, it's like it feels random, and I'm just not used to pressing the shoulder button. I don't like using the shoulder buttons for dodging like that. I like to use it only like once in a blue moon. If I was going to use a button to dodge often, it'd be the left trigger, which I actually do use. Like in Marvel Rivals, I use my left trigger button more as a dodge button. I don't use the default setup in Marvel Rivals. If you're using the default button setup in Marvel Rivals, you are not playing the game correctly. What? Oh, come on. I figured it'd be a rough night. Try using some other spells, see if that makes a difference. Uh-huh, so it wasn't just me. I would press the button to switch my daggers, and it didn't register. It wasn't registering that whole time. So it wasn't just my imagination. Yeah, this is why I'm not using other spells. Come on, attack what's in already. God damn it. Why was I down for so long? I was hammering the dodge button to get on my feet. What the hell? I don't know what the hell's that. Well, I don't know. Low armor, low poise, I guess. I'm just not used to playing in builds with, like, no poise either. So the poise is even lower than the Xena build. So this is... But like I said right at the beginning, that against bosses that are right in your face, this was going to be a pain. And I even have help now, and it's still a massive pain. Although I'm shocked that Lieutenant is not gaining... doing nothing to get his attention, because if I can get attention, all she has to do is get his attention for like a few seconds, and I can roast him. Finally. Yay! Jeez Louise. And now I gotta deal with the other it's just, this night's gonna be full of really annoying bosses, honestly. I really don't see how I can beat Millennia. I think the only way I can possibly really beat Millennia is doing whatever I can to get through the first phase, and then while in the second phase she's standing there doing Scarlet Ionia, I just do every little thing I can to like take her down before she finishes it. Because that's it. That's all I got. I really wish I could put my points elsewhere, but that's against the rules of the build, really. Well, okay, Dex for Scarlet. Now that I know casting speed is a thing, and it's totally fair for me to start putting points there, but I still have to get to like 40 before it's even that good. So, and that probably would have taken all my level ups anyway. Whoop. That's not enough runes. Fine, more runes. But it's not like I don't have other sources of casting speeds, so it's not a horrible thing. Okay, let's go back to... We are going to go back to power over speed, because now that my int's over 90. Spellcasting time, I think this is fine. Oh, right. We are going to want a little bit of... going to want a little bit of holy resistance. Don't need Lieutenant anymore. Yeah, let's see if I can get by with less FP No, that's Bolt. That's Bolt. Less FP restoration. That's really not that much holy resistance, so we'll see how it goes. This is... There's no way I can use Terra Magica in this fight, because he has all these lingering AoE spells where you stand. Oy, oy, oy. This is going to be a fun one. Pretty much going to go the same way as the previous fight, I'm sure. What do I do here? What do I do here? That's a little different. Wait, what? What? Uh-oh. Okay, so it turns out he has killer resistance to the glintstone spell. If I can't use... I press the button, but who cares? Did he just cast the exact same spell again? Weird. Okay, that was a weird one. Okay, this is getting funny. Yeah. Got him pretty low though. I gotta double check, make sure that arcane missiles is actually he's resisting it so much, because that was weird. Because Spyro was also reducing damage until it hit him dead on, and then it did normal damage again. But these are the spells I have to use. This is going to be a problem because he's moving around too much to get Microcosm off. Arcane Blast. No, it's hitting. Why did it do like no damage last time? That was weird. What are you doing? Why are you just walking towards me and taking hits? Okay, that was weird. Okay, well, he knew as long as he kept walking in that direction, he would take no damage from that spell. The first question is, why was he not taking any damage from that spell? I should have waited a sec to use that. No, I timed it. Come on. I'm timing it. What's... Okay, well, there's some weirdness going on here. Sometimes the spell is doing like no damage, and there's no reason why. Well, he's blocking it. Since when can he block spells? What the hell? I've never seen this before. Okay, it's something weird. That's weird. Like, what the hell? So he's gonna be a cheap little bastard. And that's definitely not in World of Warcraft. Bosses can't just hold up their arms and block spells. Yes, I do know some bosses have a mechanic where they become used to like damage or magic damage or something. But they don't just spam it over and over again like that. So what are we going to do here? This is pushing into unfair territory now. There was one thing with Godfrey. He was just a pain in the ass. But he's like cheating. So he's got a special ability that I flat out just do not have an answer for. And I can't use Fleeting Microcosm because all he has to do is take one step to his right or left and I can't hit him. So what am I gonna... I don't know. All I can do is just keep casting spells. I did not press the right direction. I pressed left. So I don't know why I went to the right just then. I was going to the left. This left trigger is... Actually, I don't know what hell was going on there. I've noticed lately that my analog stick is not quite responsive anymore. Or it sometimes goes in the wrong directions. Didn't always used to be like this. Actually, I've never really had controllers like this, but the more modern controllers are shit. They're not really built to last. They're built to fail, so you can spend $100 on a new one. Or like those joke Xbox Elite controllers. The Elite Controller! Still can't go a year without failing. Pay us for the right to repair it yourselves. I mean, God, how gullible can Xbox be? They literally sold you a control, paid you, charging you like $150 for a controller that you have to fix yourself. Well, I keep getting stuck at this one little bit of health. But he wasn't spamming his stupid little cheap arm move anymore. Okay, so I gotta cut down on my spells. So there's no point casting Terra Magica in this fight. It won't be any point in the second part, phase 2. So let's get rid of these spells so I can only have to... I'm never using Vanishing anymore. Shard Spark, well, it'll be useful in the second part. Magica's useless because he's going to be... And I can't risk taking damage, bonus damage. So... Alright, I didn't get any kind of great runes. Okay, well. Most of the great runes increase HP, and again, mages are supposed to be glass cannons, so... The hell was... Oh, right, you take bonus damage if he hits you mid-cast. I just have too many... Well, actually, I don't have that many bosses left to do tonight. If I just do the strict amount... If I just focus on the ones I just need to beat, then I can... God, Millennia's gonna be a bitch if this is what's going on. Yeah. Well, these World of Warcraft builds, these classes weren't designed for enemies that literally just knock you around and throw you around. Most enemies in World of Warcraft, they just punch you and you take damage and that's it. I mean, they weren't built for this, guys. These classes were designed to just, you know, take a hit and maybe I'll lose some spellcasting speed, and that's about it. They weren't designed to be thrown around and knocked around like ragdolls left and right. And only raid bosses could, like, 2 or 3 hit anyone. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm already losing it tonight, and it's only just not even, like, who's left? Well, I don't like fighting Elden Beast, so I'm not going to kill myself over beating him. Okay, it's not going to happen. I don't care if anyone doesn't like it. You can complain about it in the comments, but I just don't like... Because getting to Elden Beast can take a long time, so if anything goes wrong, then it takes a really long time, and it chews through my stream time too much. So I don't care about beating Elden Beast. So he's enough. Radagon is a pain in the butt just by himself, so... And again, if this was World of Warcraft, I'm technically supposed to have a party of adventurers with me. You know? Yay! There's still a whole nother boss, though, even though I don't care if I beat it or not. So as far as I'm concerned, that's it for this one. But there's another fight, so... What is he? What's going on here? Why am I spinning around like crazy? I didn't even jump. What the... Eh, not bad, actually. I mean, I'm totally out of mana, and that's the end of it, but not bad, considering. And while the camera was absolutely screwing me over in for the first little bit there, so... All these stupid things. Okay, normally this doesn't hit, those don't hit me, so... Yeah, okay, whatever. Considering I had, like... Okay, at the beginning there, I was like, you saw the camera was going all over the place like crazy. It was, like, really screwed me up. Because otherwise, I probably would have had a potion there. Well, I would have been out of it. Anyway, so that was actually not bad. For, like, one potion, or one flask left. So, that is not bad. I'm happy with that. I don't care about the Elden Beast. I'm moving on. There are more interesting bosses to fight. So, who's left? Where is Moog? Moog, actually, I think Moog will end up being pretty easy. I know that I really don't want to fight Neil. I don't know, this has been going... We'll see how Moog goes. If I go through Moog really fast, then... I will consider Neil, but Neil, he's got help, right? So, and I don't have, like, if I had, like, a fire, like, AoE spell or something, I'd be like laughing, but I do not. Okay, so, let's see here. Oh, I didn't put on... I don't have Terra Magica. Pooh. See how it goes. Now, let's see. I can actually just spam Stars of Ruin, so maybe that will be enough. Got a good bit of... Oh boy. He's got a good bit of magic resistance. And now he's got... Now he's taking cover behind a gravestone. Crap. Now I gotta... do this, do that. Oop. He is being weirdly passive. No, that is not the button. I didn't press that button. Come on. I didn't press that button. Okay, we gotta get Terra Magica equipped here. And I don't actually need... Actually, no. Oh, right. Don't need that. What do I need? I need more FP in general. Let's see, and get Terra Magica equipped. Where are you, Magica? Where is that stupid thing? There you are. I had sort of an idea for a Dragon Age Spellblade build. Because if you remember in Dragon Age, I think it was called Spellblade. You know, I don't quite remember. It was a long time ago, but that Spellblade specialization was a really good tank. And that could be kind of cool. I mean, ultimately, I'd probably have to go with some kind of shield that makes heavy use of the barrier shield spell, and then the carrying blade to cast spells. But I'm also really looking forward to doing, well, I like the idea of anime night, like anime Holy Night, which is sort of a variant of Agrius, except instead of just casting a very certain kind of spell, I cast any spell that looks like there's a slash. Like any spell where they swing the sword, or there's a sword slash, or a sword slash motion. And there's actually quite a few of those in Elden Ring. So, let's see. Unfortunately, I actually got to get close to him. I can't just cast whatever. Well, I forget what that spell was called with the that does the laser beam thing. Wow, he's missing a lot. Crap. Oh shit. Ah. Don't stand in the fire, as they say in World of Warcraft. So first phase is not a problem. If I can catch him being passive in second phase for a little while, I can do quite a bit of damage. And I wish I could get a chance to get like Divine Vow and all that stuff off again. Lord, is that the first time he's actually swung the spear at me? Run away! Get some space between them. Honestly, it's not about avoiding the melee attacks, it's about avoiding the stupid spellfire. He does seem to enjoy just walking slowly, menacingly towards you. Oh, I pressed the button! Come on! Alright, but I have a strat now. Ooh, I remember fighting him at... I've actually beat him at like level 15 or something once. I was trying something. Took me hours. So basically, if I get a chance to just give him time to like, let him just to walk. Okay, this should be possible now. shit. Wrong spell. This is definitely the World of Warcraft Mage experience. Get away from the boss! Oh shit. And if the boss focuses on you at any moment, you're pretty much dead. Oh, balls! Stupid. Don't put those gravestones there. Honestly, at this point, it's just about avoiding shit. Really. Because as I thought, well, okay, seemed like a long time ago when I said that I think this shouldn't be too hard, but yeah. That didn't age well, did it? That prediction. Run away! No, I screwed up at the end. I changed my strategy to just focus on him and not just spamming spells. And if I had just stuck with it, I would have had him. Anyway, you know the rule around here. When he gets that close, I call and, you know, I'm done screwing around. It was too close to keep messing around with this because you know how it goes. You get really close, then there's like another half hour of attempts. But I am not going to do that. I am calling in help. As far as I'm concerned, that was close enough. It's not a challenge run. It's not the goal of these builds. It's to have fun. So, I am just going to focus now on finishing him off. Oh, she's dead. Crap. Didn't end up making that big a difference in the end. Anyway. Come on. Whoop, got lucky there. I pressed that frickin' button. God damn it! What is it with this game where if you're caught like a sort of like a mid turn, you can't dodge? That was bullshit. So now, as far as I'm concerned, the game's cheating. Okay, now it's this. Now this is starting to feel this. That was just unfair. I pressed that button. I dodged it. Come on. Come back, attack me. Attack me. Then she can hit you in your ass. Damn it. Still, this is much improved over last time. Okay, well that was just lucky. He got stuck on a stone. For some reason, he decided to, I'm going to stand behind the stone. And maybe he thought he'd give him cover or something, but then he couldn't move. He took a hit, so anyway, it's over. Highs and lows and all that stuff. And that is the end of Mage. Once again, putting stats into places I really shouldn't. But that's just how we roll. Arcane Mages roll. We put it in int. Although by Wrath of the Lich King, we were definitely favoring... We also considered spell haste and all that. Okay then, let's go to... Oh, I gotta kill Radon too. That, okay, you know what? That's tomorrow's problem. I don't actually have to do Radon to... I don't do the DLC usually until the 3rd day, so I am not going to worry about that. And at this point, he's going to be stupid easy. So, now I did say, if I have some time, I will give Neil a shot. Is that his name? Neil? This one? One of them is. I will give him a chance or two, but then I'm going to go to Millennia because Millennia tends to take all night, usually, and I really don't think I'm going to be able to beat her regardless, so... Ooh, I didn't change my talismans. Well, okay, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do here, frankly. There's going to be a lot of shit going on. Huh. Ah, you win some, you lose some. What can I say? That went so incredibly fast. Like, what is that? Like 3 minutes? Yay. Got a fast one in. Whoa, look at your face. Your face is dirty. Man, you got some blood splatter there. Huh. Okay, then I guess now I guess Millennia is the only thing left. I mean, there could be other bosses I can mix in, but usually Millennia takes me an hour. I've already been through the ringer a bit tonight. Actually, you know what? Since I've already been through the ringer yet tonight, I'm just gonna take a quick break. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Ah. Okay then. Millennia with a mage build. And not even an optimized mage build. So this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. So I am going to just use a basic spear or staff. You know what? Let's just try power for now. No, this is power. Okay. We'll try power. We'll start with power for now. And see how it goes, but this is... yeah, this is really going to be a interesting one. Alright then, let's do this as well as it's possible to do this. This is... I really don't know how this is gonna go. This is... well, it should be possible to knock her down, so... I mean, it is easy to knock her down, so maybe I can just spam this. Huh. Right, I'm so used to dodging normally to avoid that, so I'm gonna have to... I can't use blink for that. I'm gonna have to use my usual dodge build move for that because it's just too I don't know. I don't know how to use the timing on Bloodhound and all that. It's too different. So if this is gonna work, I'm gonna have to use my usual dodging routine. Damn it. There's no point in calling for help in this fight, by the way. Unless you have use a really cheap summons, then all the summons does is give her HP back. And I don't have any good ones prepped for this. Nope. Mistimed that one. Okay. Honestly, the power's not so bad. The extra power is not that big a deal. I think I only used one flask. Since I'm not even bothering with Bloodhound's Finesse, which is, you know, Blink, but Blink is impossible to use in this fight, so... Looks like this is actually not too bad. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I timed that. But I was she hit me once and it was like I couldn't dodge anymore. But then again, this is a really low poise, so you dodge right, you dodge right, you pause, dodge right, dodge left, back, and that can get you through the whole thing usually. But for some reason, she hit me once and I just flat out couldn't move. And actually, being so far away is throwing off my timing on that. Basically, if I can't knock her down with Microcosm, Arcane Blast, then okay, I dodged. Yeah, so I get hit and I can't move. Basically, I guess that's what having really low poise does. I mean, I knew this was going to be an absolute hell to fight her with this build. But if I can just get her into second phase, because in that second phase, I will have time to just absolutely roll her. Well, okay, not really, but I will be free to just unload. And that could potentially just take her out, because she doesn't have that much HP, and, well, doesn't have as much HP in the second phase. Damn, she missed me. Like I said, I knew this was going to be a pain. I'm so used to fighting her with melee builds. Hey. And all the other spells I have are pretty much useless. God, the timing on that and using another potion is perfect. Okay. The timing, actually, if I'm doing it from far away, it's actually throwing my timing off. By doing it like that, my whole dodge timing is off on that. Okay, well, even though if I could spam Microcosm and just knock her down over and over again, which worked fine, well, early on, but now it's... Well, now it's very random whether it works or not. It's great when it knocks her down, but it's not knocking her down now. What? I pressed the dodge button. Why did it not? Huh. Yeah, I don't know what to really do here. For some reason, there's like some sort of... I am like one little hit and I can't move. So, I don't know how I can possibly get through Waterfall Dance with my usual timing if I'm being caught flat-footed. All my spells keep missing. They mostly miss. They're like doing no real damage, really. And frankly, the way I'm going about this fight ain't any different than when I go do a melee fight, really. It's just now, instead of swinging and attacking and flinching her, it's just like... Now I have to cast a spell from a distance, so this is turning into more like, I don't know, it's not fun doing this. Well, then again, it's usually never fun. I don't know, sometimes even when you're getting your butt kicked by her over and over again, it's still fun. It's in a weird, crazy way, but here it's more like I got one spell that pretty much usually misses, one spell that always misses, and one spell that just sort of mostly misses. So it's like... And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't use these spells against her anyway. You'd probably use something else. I think people would use, like, Rock Sling or something. Yeah, okay, I don't know what's going on. Maybe, I don't know, maybe my dodge timing is just not there tonight, but... I don't know, for a while, well, maybe 2 weeks off was enough to totally throw me... Actually, we'll make it, it's more like 3 weeks. Maybe even 4 weeks. It's like quite a bit of time since I've actually fought her, so... All my dodge timings are off. I just... I'm not sure what I can do here. Honestly, I mean, I don't know mages very well for Elden Ring, but I know I wouldn't use these spells to fight her. That's actually an idea. There are a couple spells that arcane mages use that I didn't actually add to this build because I wanted to keep things simple. I could try using those and see if it makes a difference. So the two spells are Comet, because there is a spell that they get. It's one of those talent spells that aren't really part of the core kit. But there's a spell where they just shoot off like a big ball of energy. I don't know what the point was of it, but it was one spell they could choose to get as one of those little extra talent skills. I pressed the button. I pressed it and nothing happened. I don't know what to say. I didn't... Anyway, and the other spell would be, I forget what's called in Elden Ring, Gray Mist or Killing Mist or something. And there's another one of these bonus spells they can get that is not part of the core kit that they get. That's like, it just sort of is like it's like an area effect that just like shoots little balls of purple energy and just it's basically an AoE dot is what it is. This is useless. So, and I am perfectly within my rights to use these abilities. I just chose not to because there's just too many spells I had to think of already. Where is it? Where is Comet? Just one big ball of energy. Okay, well let's start with the Mist spell. Night Maiden's Mist, which is it was the equivalent for that one spell for the AoE. And where is Comet? The Comet one. Where's the Comet one? Where is that stupid... No. Not all the spells. Where's Comet? Comet. Glintstone. Oh. Glintstone, Comet Shard. I think it was this one. It was like... Whatever was like a big ball of energy. So let's see if this makes a difference. Technically, these were spells. Technically, they're spells that account towards this arcane build. I just chose not to use them. So, I'm not breaking any rules here of the build. It was just like, just think of it like me like respecking my talents and changing up what spells I have. And not like the full respec, but just like, because there was a whole system they introduced in Pandaria where instead of having like talent trees, they had... And she dodged it. Instead of having these talent trees, they had like... They removed the talent trees and had this like system where you can choose between these other... You can have like a passive ability or a new spell or some sort of... I don't know, it was like they all had the exact same power for these options. So if you didn't like casting a whole bunch of spells, you could have a passive ability that passively increased your damage. You could have a new spell, and then you'd have a third option, which I don't know. They would usually use it to replace a missing perk spell, like explosive. Well, maybe not explosive shot, but something like that. And that was their thing. And she's dodging it. So Comet is worthless. Yep. Nope, that's not what I meant to use. It knocked her down, though. Not much damage. I mean, if she's gonna stand in my face, let her burn. Nice little area on this spell. But this is not good damage. I pressed the button. I don't have to tell you. I'm pressing it. Oh, man. Okay, those spells suck. She dodges the first one, and the other one is just... I mean, if I could rapidly cast all these spells off, then it'd probably all work pretty well. Like, you know, knock her down, throw down the mist, you know, she takes a little extra damage, you know, stuff like this. I shall hold on to the mist, because that will be useful in phase 2. But since I have to cycle through these spells one at a time, it's not a good option. It doesn't work. I don't know what to tell you guys here. These are just not good spells for this setup. It's just not a good setup for her. I'm sure with the right spells it would work really well, but she's dodging them so often. Okay, going to be walking slowly. Cast that. Hopefully that'll hit. Honestly, this feels like I'm being super careful and efficient like I am with a weapon, but now even more so and more slowly because I'm using spells. Of course, if she's going to be stupid, then yay. That time I got it off, but it was like paper armor, I guess. Because normally I can take a hit or two and then I'm fine, but that was like what's my armor? It's not that bad. Wait, is there any like reductions? No. Maybe I just have to spam the crab more often. Ah. Alright, if you start walking slowly, I cast it. Now I can cast it. Want to get her flat-footed. Ah. Good lord, what's going on here? Even when I got the dodges off, I suddenly noticed like I was moving more slowly. Ooh, I don't know about this. If I could just get the second phase, I can then just absolutely unload on her. And I don't know if that would necessarily kill her, but it'd probably really knock her down. It's honest. Second phase is honestly easier than first phase, I find. Well, nothing special about my dodge strategy there. I didn't do anything different, but it worked. Okay, for some reason she rolled to the right twice. You're supposed to go right, then left. You right, left, then right, left. For some reason she went right, right. I did not press the right button just then, so I don't know what the hell is going on. That should not have happened. That should have dodged correctly. I don't know, somehow, I mean, you guys have seen me fight her for, like, a long, long time before. I really fought her hard in the past. Like, I've been, like, many attempts. I've had some really long fights with her that have gone even longer than this. But even despite all that, no matter how ridiculous or stupid those attempts were, I was still enjoying it roughly. I mean, in a weird way that people enjoy being killed over again in Elden Ring. Souls games. What the? I'm pressing the dodge button. Oh, God. But for some reason this time, even though it's only been like 20 minutes, I'm not enjoying this. This is just not fun. It just feels like the spells they don't hit that hard. I mean, I know I could be using more buffs, but like I told you, I'm only using the buffs that I could actually feel that the Arcane Mage actually had, right? Maybe let me try. I mean, Terra Magica is probably not going to be a good idea necessarily, but and also there aren't nearly as many. I don't have 30 people watching me tonight, so. But just something about this is just not fun. And it's not about the losing. It's not the losing that's not fun. It's that it feels like this build is just not. These are just not the optimum spells and abilities that you'd use if you're a mage against Millennia. But I'm using them anyway because that's the build rules. I don't know. I dodged that correctly, and she was still hitting me. And with this build, she drips through my HP so fast. I don't know what to do with this one. I really don't know what to do with this. Do I having like? Whoops! No, I need that. Is it really that? Okay. I haven't been using cast speed increase this whole time. Let's see if it makes any kind of difference. But as this stands so far, right now, I don't have any hope for this one, and it's just flat out not fun. I mean, if I could just get her into second phase and see what would happen if I absolutely had a chance to just mow her down, but as it stands, it feels like this is feeling like a real hard grind. See, that was just sheer luck that it got through that one. Oh, that worked. I'm so far away, just keep going backwards. Okay, that was nice to know. I just didn't know that trick. And I'm just so far away from her that... Oop, I gotta need space then. That she... What am I stuck against? Come on, get knocked down again so I can get some space between you, because that really worked. Yeah, that's right. Do your slow walk. Nope. She used it at the exact perfect time, of course. Well, okay, now I know something that'll work against, from a long distance, waterfowl dance. I can just keep going backwards, and she will miss just through the sheer distance. But for some reason tonight, with this build, my usual timing is doing nothing. One little hit, like, because you're always going to take at least maybe one hit during Waterfall Dance, but with this build, it's like I'm complete. Once she hits me, it's like I can't move. Low poise, I guess, is the thing. Which I don't normally fight her with such low poise builds. So, like, not this low. Or I have health or something. I mean, I would like to try and get to second phase without help, but this is turning into real grind, and it feels random. Right? Like, I'm really feeling like there's a lot of luck going on here. Sometimes she'll stand there like an idiot and just let herself get knocked down, and other times she will duck and dodge and everything. So it feels like there's like random. And I really don't like it when there's luck involved. Damn. See, that's why I said it feels like there's some luck involved. Most of the time she just stands there and takes it or moves around, but that time I cast it and she does that one move. Well, I'm going to give her one more. I just want to see what would happen if I can get to the second phase and I can start, like, just absolutely freely casting spells like crazy on her when she's standing there in Blossom, right? But this is turning into a real grind. Like, I just don't have the options that I would normally have with melee. And plus, I normally have more HP and better poise. So this is like real, and of course, it's not like a real arcane mage where they can do rip-roaring damage and they can stun and slow people. So shit. Nope, that was just bad timing. And of course, she does that thing where she perfectly times your potion, your flask usage. You can get stuck in like a flask, where she'll just stand there and wait for you to use the flask, and then she will spam it. I gave it my shot. I gave it a shot. This just feels... I don't know, this is getting stupid. Actually, it hasn't been that long. It's only been a half hour. I've done fights much longer than this. But this one just flat out does not feel fun one bit. It's not fun. Because it feels like there's a lot of randomness going on, and these spells just don't hit, and it doesn't matter if I go more power or more speed, because she's just going to avoid most of the spells anyway. So it kind of doesn't... Well, I guess the spell efficiency was nice, so I couldn't get into second phase. At least not before the end of the stream. So I'm going to call on help now to see if it makes any kind of difference. Because it's just not fun anymore, so now I just want it over. So we'll see if this works. Now, honestly, if I were like making an optimized mage build, I would have like a whole bunch of different spells. I would be, you know, experimenting, seeing which one works better. I know there's some that would definitely work better with her than others. I'd be doing all sorts of defensive tricks to see if I could get around waterfowl dance better. Like all sorts of things, right? But because this is a specific build, I have to do it a very specific way. And that specific way involves spells that are just not that effective. And I don't get why... Well, okay, it's got to be the low poise. Because normally with waterfowl, I have a pretty solid way to evade her, but... One little slash during waterfowl dance, which you're going to get hit once, like... And just... You're gonna get hit once, but with here it's like I get hit once and then that's it. They just can't move. I'm hiccuped and flinched and can't move. So... What was I doing? Oh right, I was supposed to summon someone. Okay, but... Here it's like there's nothing I can... Like with this particular... Well, I've done this before. It's not like it's the first time I've just been like... This build doesn't work against this hero, or this boss, and just moving on like this. And I hate doing that, especially since I've had all my recent builds, I've actually managed to beat everyone. But this one, it's like... It just feels... This feels like... I'm just feeling it more with this one for some reason. It just really bugs me. But you know what? Honestly, this is how it was in World of Warcraft. A mage was not supposed to go to toe by themselves with bosses. They're supposed to have everyone in front of them, protecting them, and blah blah blah. So, yeah, in some ways, this is kind of accurate. It's kind of accurate to the experience. And then again, in World of Warcraft, you didn't have bosses that can knock you around like ragdolls and have all these. Well, of course, they have crazy mechanics, but they wouldn't have they weren't fast moving like this, so it's not exactly a fair comparison. What was that? She didn't go anywhere. She just went straight up and down and not really aiming at anyone. Like what the heck? That's right, you dance around like a cat. And then when you get in that corner, I knock you around silly. But of course, you're just gonna regain all your HP from attacking the summon. Basically, like, do you manage to get to second phase, and then just casting spells and like really nailing her doesn't make a difference, then I'm done. I just can't keep doing this all night. I cannot spend this much time and grind this hard to get to second phase, and then get there and then die and have to do it all over again. I can't do it. Remember, these are not challenge builds. These are just builds, right? If it's not fun, I don't want to do it. As I've said before, I've done my challenge runs. They were much harder than this. I ain't doing it again. Ooh. Yay. Honestly, actually, no, I shouldn't say Lieutenant made no difference. She was distracting. And this is making no difference. And she happened to begin with the one ability that I'm not dodging at all tonight. Oh! Spoke too soon. Well, the second phase seems to be easier to dodge than the other phases for some reason. Okay, I don't know why I was bouncing around like crazy just then. That threw me off. But it made it okay. Well, I wasn't doing casting away. Didn't end up making that big a difference. So, but I don't. I was actually doing not too bad there in the second phase, but then it got all messed up. Suddenly, I seemed to get stuck in like a dodge loop. Like she was actually dodging when I wasn't even pressing the button. So I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And so she's dodging and dodging. I'm not even pressing the button. She's dodging anyway. So now I'm like, well, now I'm out of position. I got to dodge again. And so now I actually dodge. But then she goes in a completely opposite direction. Then the camera shoots up. I can't see where I'm going. And that got screwed up really bad. But anyway, we are going to call the Mimic tier. Not because I think the Mimic tier will make any difference. In fact, this is probably going to be laughable with the Mimic tier. But I just want to see how it goes. I'm supposed to have help anyway. This is not... I mean, we're talking about the World of Warcraft experience here. And that is actually how it goes. You do have a party with you, usually when you fight tough bosses. So this is perfectly fair. But I'm not going to keep doing this all night. Because unlike... Oh, so that's the spell you're going to cast. Okay. No, that's fine. That should give her something to think about. Don't use melee attacks, stupid. I haven't buffed those daggers. Yeah, that's right. Do the spell. Oh shit. No, don't cast it on the Mimic tier. You're just gonna regain all your HP. Well, this is certainly more amusing. Not because it's necessarily more effective, but... I mean, once she goes Waterfowl on the Mimic tier, she regains all HP, but it's kind of funny. Don't use melee attacks, you stupid. And he's dead? Yeah, she's dead. Oh, still alive. What, you do a jumping dagger attack? Cast spells! And she regained her HP. Again? Oh my god. Yep. I was out of mana potions anyway, so I wouldn't have had any mana left to continue that fight. I'm calling it. Something about the way this is going, something about the way this fight feels with this build is just flat out not fun. I'm not enjoying it one bit. The grind. I just feel it this time. Because with this particular build, I mean, this is okay to say that the certain build is just not effective against this boss, and then just move on. I've done it before. I've certainly done it with Millennia. I've certainly did it with the Bomberman build. Usually I give up with Radahn, or Consort Radahn, not the other Radahn. So there's nothing wrong with this, technically. This is not meant to be a challenge. I don't have to beat anything. It's just for fun. And it's not fun. If it's just for fun build and it's not fun, then I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to call it here. I don't know, something about this is just really wearing me down and really weighing on me mentally than what the other builds do. So I'm going to call it, and like no one's watching anyway. I went from 30 viewers to nothing tonight. So I don't see a reason to keep going. No fun, no one watching. Anyway, hopefully I'll have more luck against the DLC bosses tomorrow night. I hope you'll join me then. Like and subscribe and engage and all that YouTube crap. Be sure to enable notifications and double check to make sure you're still subscribed if you are subscribed, because, you know, more YouTube weirdness. Anyway, this was mentally taxing. I hope Frosted is more fun, and even Fire will be more interesting. You never know. The change in spells can make all the difference in the world. I mean, it made all the difference in the world for Nal. You saw how that went. Anyway, I hope you somehow enjoyed this one. Good night, guys. I am just really drained over this one. Ugh. No fun. Absolutely no fun. And it's not just the losing that's no fun. It's well, I explained it. It doesn't feel like I can really do anything to make any difference without changing the rules. Anyway, night.